everyone, and welcome to the Cody English, the podcast that makes English feel less like a textbook and more like a real conversation.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cody, and I am so ready for today.
I'm Cleo, and together we are going to help you build something really powerful today.
Yes, and honestly, this topic, I needed this lesson like yesterday.
So let's paint a picture. You wake up, you tell yourself, today I will study English. And then, what happens?
Life happens. You check your phone, you get busy, you eat breakfast, and suddenly it's 11 p.m. and you haven't practiced one single word.
Exactly. And then the guilt kicks in. I failed again. Sound familiar?
Oh, that guilt is real. I've lived that guilt many times.
And that's why today's lesson is so important. We are not just going to talk about studying English, we are going to talk about building a daily habit, something automatic, something you actually stick to.
And the beautiful thing, you don't need 3 hours a day. You don't need a fancy classroom, right, Cleo?
Right, even 10 or 15 minutes a day, done consistently, will beat 3 hours done once a week, every single time.
Wait, why? How is 15 minutes better than 3 hours?
Because your brain loves repetition over time. Think of it like watering a plant. A little water every day, the plant grows strong. Pouring a whole bucket once a week,
The plant drowns. Okay, I like that.
so by the end of today's episode, you will have a simple, real-world system to make English a part of your daily life, starting tomorrow morning.
I love it. And hey, before we jump in, if you are new here, welcome to the Cody English. We make these episodes every week just for you.
And if this episode helps you even a little bit, please subscribe to the Cody English and hit that like button. It genuinely helps us reach more learners just like you.
Think of it as your first English habit. Come back every week, listen to us, and your English will quietly get better and better. Deal?
Perfect. Okay, Cody, let's start with the number one reason people fail to build an English habit.
Ooh, hit me.
They make it too big. A beginner says, I will study English for 1 hour every day. That sounds great on Monday. By Wednesday, it's over.
Because 1 hour is scary. When I sit down and think I have to do this for 1 hour, I just don't start.
Exactly. And that feeling, that resistance before you start, psychologists call it the activation energy. It's the effort your brain needs just to begin.
Okay, activation energy. So the bigger the task, the more activation energy it needs.
Perfectly said. And our goal is to make the task so small, so easy, that your brain has zero excuse not to start.
So instead of 1 hour of English, I say, 5 minutes of English?
Yes, that is tip number one. Start tiny. Choose a habit so small it almost feels silly. 5 minutes of English every morning.
5 minutes feels too easy, though. Like, am I actually going to learn anything?
Here's the secret, Cody, and this is something many students completely miss. The goal of a tiny habit is not the 5 minutes. The goal is to show up every day.
Oh, so I'm training myself to show up, not to finish a textbook.
Exactly, because once you sit down and start, most days you will do more than 5 minutes. But on a bad day, a tired day, 5 minutes is still a win.
That is actually a cheat code. I feel like nobody told me this before.
It's one of those things that sounds too simple, but it works. James Clear, the author of a famous book called Atomic Habits, calls it never miss twice.
Never miss twice. What does that mean exactly?
It means you will miss a day. Life happens, like you said. But the rule is never miss 2 days in a row. 1 missed day is an accident. 2 missed days is the start of a new habit, the habit of not practicing.
Wow, never miss twice. I'm writing that on my wall.
Good. Now, tip number 2 is about something called an anchor habit. This one is my personal favorite.
Anchor? Like on a boat?
Exactly like that. An anchor habit means you attach your new English habit to something you already do every day automatically.
Oh, like I always make coffee in the morning, so I could listen to an English podcast while I make my coffee.
Perfect example. You just described it better than I could. The coffee is your anchor. The English listening is the new habit you attach to it.
So I'm not adding something new to my day, I'm just putting English on top of something I already do.
Right, and this is huge for beginners especially, because you don't need to find extra time. You just need to find the right moment.
Okay, I'm thinking of my day right now. I wake up, I make coffee, I brush my teeth, I walk to the bus stop.
Any of those could be your anchor.
Brushing my teeth? That's like 2 minutes. I could repeat English phrases while I brush my teeth.
Yes, and honestly, 2 minutes of speaking practice every single morning will change your pronunciation over time. Don't underestimate it.
Okay, so we have tip 1, start tiny. Tip 2, use an anchor habit. What's next?
Tip 3 is about something I call English micro moments, and this is where it gets really fun.
Micro moments. What are those?
So, a micro moment is a tiny pocket of time in your day, waiting for the bus, standing in line at a coffee shop, riding the elevator, that most people waste on social media.
Guilty. I am definitely on social media in the elevator.
And we're not saying stop using your phone. We're saying redirect just some of those moments toward English.
Like, instead of scrolling, I open an English app or read one English sentence.
Exactly. One new word, one short English video, reading one paragraph of an easy English article. These add up so fast.
Okay, so here's my quick question for everyone listening right now, and I want you to pause this and actually answer this.
Oh, I love this.
Think about your day. When is your anchor moment? Is it morning coffee, brushing teeth, your commute? Pause right now and type your answer in the comments. We seriously read every single one.
And there's no wrong answer here. Every routine is different, and that is completely okay.
All right, so we've got start tiny, anchor habits, and micro moments. But Cleo, here is my problem. I start strong, right? Week 1, I'm amazing. Week 2, still pretty good. Week 3,
You disappear.
I vanish, like completely. What is happening in week 3?
This is so common, Cody, and I want every listener to hear this. What happens in week 3 is called the motivation dip. The excitement of something new has worn off, but the habit is not yet automatic.
So it's like a danger zone.
Exactly. The habit isn't strong enough to run on its own yet, but your motivation isn't strong enough to push you either.
So how do I survive the danger zone?
Tip number 4, and this one is a secret tip. Use a habit tracker.
Okay, like an app?
An app works perfectly, or even just a simple paper calendar on your wall. Every day you practice English, you put a check mark, or a big X, or a star, whatever makes you happy.
Oh, and then you get a streak, and you don't want to break the streak.
Yes, it's called the chain method. You build a visual chain of successful days, and the longer the chain, the more powerful the motivation to keep it going.
This is psychology. This is sneaky good psychology.
Language learning is as much about psychology as it is about grammar. The students who succeed, they understand how to manage their own motivation.
Cleo, this is honestly blowing my mind. I always thought it was about finding the perfect textbook or the perfect app, but it's really about the system.
The system beats motivation every single time. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes. A system is a structure. It works even on the days you don't feel like it.
The system beats motivation. That is going on my wall too. Right next to never miss twice.
Your wall is going to be very full.
Okay, so quick vocab check, because I want to make sure everyone is following. Cleo, can you hit the keywords we've used so far?
Of course, activation energy, the mental effort needed to start a task. Anchor habit, attaching a new habit to something you already do every day. Micro moment, a tiny pocket of free time in your day. And motivation dip, the danger zone in week 2 or 3 when excitement fades.
And the chain method, building a streak of successful days to keep yourself going.
Perfect recap. See, you're already thinking like a habit expert.
I'm a habit expert who still forgets to practice sometimes, but hey, never miss twice, right?
And that's the whole point. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep coming back.
Okay, so we've covered 4 tips so far. Start tiny, anchor habits, micro moments, and the habit tracker. But I have a question that I think a lot of people are thinking right now.
Go for it.
What do I actually do in those 5 or 10 minutes? Like, okay, I sit down, I have my coffee, now what? What kind of English practice should a beginner do?
Such a great question. And honestly, this is where many students get stuck. They want to practice, but they don't know where to start, so they just don't start.
Yes, decision paralysis. Too many options, so you choose nothing.
Exactly. So here is tip number 5, and this one is a secret tip that most teachers don't talk about enough. Pick one skill per week.
One skill, not all of them at once?
Not all at once. Here's what happens when beginners try to do everything: speaking, listening, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, all at the same time.
They burn out fast.
They burn out, they feel overwhelmed, and they quit. But if you say, this week I am only focusing on listening, suddenly it's simple, it's clear. You know exactly what to do.
So Monday through Sunday, just listening. Maybe a short podcast, a YouTube video, a song in English.
Exactly that. And next week you switch. Maybe next week is vocabulary. You learn 5 new words a day, you use them, and you repeat them.
5 words a day is only 35 words a week. That sounds small, but actually that's a lot over a year.
Do the math. 5 words a day, 365 days, that's over 1,800 words in 1 year.
That is basically fluency. Like most everyday English conversations use only about 1,000 words.
Exactly right. Basic conversational English uses around 1,000 common words. So with consistency and a tiny daily habit, a beginner can reach conversational level faster than they think.
Okay, I need to sit with that for a second. That is genuinely exciting.
And this connects to something really important: your why. Tip number 6, always keep your reason visible.
My why? You mean like, why am I learning English in the first place?
Yes, is it for a job, to travel, to watch your favorite shows without subtitles, to talk to someone you love?
Oh, this is personal. Everyone's why is different.
And when week 3 comes, when the motivation dip hits, your why is what pulls you through. Not willpower, not discipline, your reason.
So I should literally write it down somewhere I can see it every day?
Write it on a sticky note. Make it your phone wallpaper. Say it out loud in the morning. Whatever works for you.
I'm learning English because fill in the blank, and look at it every single day.
Many students struggle with motivation because they forget why they started. The why fades, so you have to keep it alive on purpose.
You know what? I want to make this interactive. Listeners, right now, what is your why? Why are you learning English? Drop it in the comments below. Seriously, write it out.
Yes, and when you write it in the comments, you are making it real. You are committing to it publicly. That is actually a psychological trick. Public commitment makes you more likely to follow through.
Whoa, so even commenting is part of the habit-building process?
Everything counts. Every small action in the direction of your goal, it counts.
Cleo, I feel like we should talk about one more thing. What about days when English feels hard? Like the words don't come, you feel stupid, you want to quit.
Oh, this is so important. And I want to be honest here. Those days will come for every learner at every level.
Even advanced speakers?
Even advanced speakers. Language learning is not a straight line going up. It's more like a zigzag.
up, then down a little, then up again, then flat for a while.
Exactly. And the flat parts, the plateaus, those are the hardest. You feel like you're not improving, but actually your brain is quietly processing everything you've learned.
So the plateau is not failure. It's just loading, like a web page buffering.
I love that. Yes, your English is buffering. It's not broken, it's loading.
That actually makes me feel so much better because I've had those weeks where I feel like I'm going backwards.
And on those hard days, tip number 7, lower the bar completely. Don't skip, just make it easier.
Lower the bar, so instead of 10 minutes, I do 2 minutes?
Instead of 10 minutes, you do 2 minutes. Instead of writing a paragraph, you write one sentence. Instead of a full lesson, you just listen to one English song.
Something is always better than nothing.
Always. And here's why. When you show up, even on the hard days, you are sending a message to yourself. You are telling your brain, I am someone who practices English every day.
Oh, that is deep. So it's about identity, not just action.
Yes, James Clear talks about this too. The most powerful habit change comes when you start to see yourself as that kind of person. Not, I'm trying to learn English, but I am an English learner.
I am an English learner, present tense, right now, not someday.
Right now, today, even if your English isn't perfect yet, you are already someone who shows up and practices.
Okay, I feel inspired, like genuinely inspired. Can we do a super fast recap before we wrap up? I want to lock these tips in.
Absolutely. Let's go fast. Tip 1.
Start tiny. 5 minutes a day beats 0 minutes a day. Always.
Tip 2.
Anchor habit. Attach English to something you already do. Coffee, brushing teeth, your commute.
Tip 3.
Micro moments. Use the small pockets of time. The elevator, the line, the waiting for a quick English hit.
Tip 4.
Habit tracker. Build the chain. Never miss twice.
Tip 5.
One skill per week. Don't do everything at once. Pick one and go deep.
Tip 6.
Know your why and keep it somewhere you can see it every single day.
And tip 7.
On hard days, lower the bar. 2 minutes is still a win. Something always beats nothing.
That was perfect. Seriously, Cody, you just taught the whole episode back to me.
Haha, see, the system works. I listened, I repeated, I remembered.
And that is exactly what your daily habit will do for your English. Listen, repeat, remember. Day by day, piece by piece.
Okay, before we go, we have one final question for the comments, and we really want to hear from you on this one.
Hit him with it.
What is the one tiny habit you are going to start tomorrow? Just one. Could be 5 minutes of listening while you make coffee, could be learning 3 new words, could be repeating English phrases while you brush your teeth.
Write it in the comments right now. Make it specific, make it real. And then come back next week and tell us how it went.
We are going to be here every week making English feel less scary and more exciting. That's a promise.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It means everything to us that you are here, that you are trying, and that you are showing up.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. See you next week on the Cody English.
Take care, everyone. Keep going. You've got this.